In the intricate dance of international relations, moments of significant policy reversal often illuminate deeper truths about global power. The Biden administration's renewed engagement with the Iran nuclear deal, formerly known as the JCPOA, stands as one such pivotal moment. It marks not merely a change in administration, but a tacit acknowledgement that the preceding strategy, intended to end a perceived war or threat through overwhelming pressure, ultimately revealed the inherent limitations of American unilateral dominance. This narrative arc, from confrontation to potential reconciliation, offers critical insights into the evolving landscape of global power and influence, reshaping our understanding of leverage and resilience on the world stage. Before the tumultuous shifts, there was the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. Signed in 2015 by Iran, the U.S., and other world powers, it aimed to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons in exchange for sanctions relief. It represented a diplomatic triumph, a painstaking effort to de-escalate a major regional threat through multilateral engagement. For many, it symbolized the power of diplomacy and cooperation in addressing complex security challenges. The deal, imperfect as it might have been, established a framework for verification and created a channel for dialogue, offering a pathway away from potential conflict and towards stability in a volatile region. In 2018, President Donald Trump made the controversial decision to withdraw the United States from the JCPOA, labeling it the worst deal ever. His administration then launched a maximum pressure campaign, reimposing stringent sanctions with the stated goal of forcing Iran to negotiate a better deal or even to instigate regime change. This aggressive stance was rooted in a belief that only through overwhelming economic and political coercion could Iran be brought to heel. It was a strategy designed to fundamentally alter Iran's behavior, eliminating what was perceived as a continuous state of war or threat through economic strangulation and isolation. The maximum pressure campaign, while debilitating for Iran's economy, did not yield the desired political capitulation. Instead, it fueled a dangerous cycle of escalation. Iran responded by enriching uranium beyond JCPOA limits, increasing its ballistic missile activities, and escalating regional proxy conflicts. The very war Trump aimed to end seemed to intensify, with attacks on oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, drone strikes, and retaliatory actions. Far from de-escalating, the region became a powder keg, demonstrating the critical flaw in a strategy that mistook economic hardship for guaranteed compliance, pushing both sides further from peace. This period starkly revealed the limits of American dominance. Despite wielding unparalleled economic might and military power, the United States found itself unable to unilaterally dictate terms to Iran. Tehran, though suffering immense economic pain, remained resilient, refusing to buckle under pressure and demonstrating a capacity to absorb sanctions while still advancing its strategic interests. The notion that overwhelming force or economic strangulation alone could force a sovereign nation to completely abandon its core policies proved to be a miscalculation. This resistance underscored a shift in global power dynamics, where even a superpower faces constraints against a determined adversary. The economic impact on Iran was severe, yet it failed to break the political will of the regime or force a better deal. While oil exports plummeted and the national currency lost significant value, Iran's leadership entrenched itself, viewing U.S. demands as an affront to its sovereignty. The strategy created a lose-lose scenario. Iran faced severe economic hardship without political change, and the U.S. saw its leverage diminish as Iran steadily advanced its nuclear program beyond agreed limits. The stalemate highlighted that economic pain, without a viable diplomatic off-ramp, often leads to hardening stances rather than concessions. Another critical limitation revealed was the erosion of international consensus. European allies, steadfast in their support for the original JCPOA, largely resisted Trump's call for a complete abandonment of the deal. They sought to preserve diplomatic channels and continue trade with Iran, often creating mechanisms to bypass U.S. sanctions. This divergence underscored that U.S. dominance, while significant, is not absolute when it comes to rallying global powers around a singular, coercive foreign policy. The refusal of key allies to fully align with the maximum pressure campaign further highlighted the complexity of multilateral diplomacy and the enduring value of international agreements. Upon entering office, the Biden administration swiftly signaled a shift, recognizing the maximum pressure campaign had failed to achieve its goals and instead brought the region closer to conflict. The new approach embraced a return to diplomacy, aiming to revive the JCPOA as a pragmatic step to contain Iran's nuclear program and stabilize the Middle East. This strategic pivot acknowledged that the path to ending Trump's war with Iran lay not in further confrontation, but in re-establishing the diplomatic guardrails that had been dismantled. It was a clear admission that unilateral pressure alone could not solve a deeply entrenched geopolitical challenge, necessitating a more nuanced and multilateral strategy. The pursuit of a renewed Iran deal, therefore, represents the effective end of Trump's war against Iran. Not an end achieved through military victory or Iranian capitulation, but through the readoption of a diplomatic framework that ironically mirrors the one he rejected. This resolution underscores a fundamental truth: even the most powerful nations encounter limits to their dominance when faced with resilient adversaries and a fractured international landscape. The journey from unilateral withdrawal to multilateral re-engagement serves as a powerful case study in the complexities of foreign policy, revealing that sometimes the most effective path to peace is the very one initially abandoned. The saga of the Iran deal offers profound lessons for U.S. foreign policy and the broader understanding of global dominance. It demonstrates that while the U.S. maintains significant power, its ability to unilaterally impose its will is increasingly constrained in a multipolar world. The era where raw power could guarantee outcomes is evolving, necessitating a greater emphasis on alliances, diplomacy, and a nuanced understanding of national resilience. Moving forward, acknowledging these limits will be crucial for crafting effective strategies that navigate complex geopolitical challenges, fostering stability not through absolute control, but through strategic collaboration and sustained diplomatic effort. This paradigm shift will define future international relations.